Arr, friends and enemies. Hello, it is I, Adrian, your friendly neighborhood DID system persecutor. We are back with Mamiya. Um, Full disclosure, everything up to Act 1 and the main part, like the start of Act 2, the rest of me previewed to make sure I'd be able to handle it, so decreasing the risk of me being overly traumatized. Um, But yeah, so we're playing through Act 1 and basically just hoping that nobody spoils it because inner world stuff kind of sucks. Um, it looks like I'm having some frame drops. 46%. Jesus. I thought I fixed that problem. Hang on. Let me. Don't need multiple copies of Discord running. No reason to have Grammarly running. Okay. Okay, good. Frame drops are down to 39%. Okay. Let's go ahead and reload. There we go. Words of love carried only sadness. I love you more than anything in the world. Because when the words you give were sent back, I didn't know how to accept them. I love you too. Within this empty city, I poured out a drink to get me through the moment. Come tomorrow, I'd forget the taste of last night's love, and yet, this movie's shit. I clicked my tongue and left the cinema. Beneath the cold sky, I heard nothing but a repeating clicking from my hands. Worst goddamn time for my lighter to stop working. Ugh, damn it. Not bothering to hide my irritation, I slowly brought the thing to my cig after finally managing to light it up. Enveloped by the cold, I watched the smoke rise into the dark of the night. So Natsumi's dead, huh? I suddenly remembered the funeral, the way he burned and turned to ash. A person actually died. Damn, it's cold. I pulled my shoulders closer to bear the freezing cold and began walking. That was when the phone I kept in my back pocket began vibrating. Was it I.A.M., Kyoko, or Sayuri? Hello? I didn't really care who it was. Yeah, I'm going right now. Seeking a place to warm up, I resumed my walk. Through this ice-cold Tokyo. Of course I love you. I doubted anyone else was looking forward to the end of the world as much as I did. My life had always felt like I'd been watching it in third person, like a movie. If it were to end, I would want it to be a spectacle. Make it an ensemble cast work even. Something large-scale that would downplay my personal pain. That way I wouldn't have to bear the shivering on my own. Mamiya. The sound of rolling film. The persistent noise of the projector. Sparse seats, lights near my feet. Mamiya. In this cold clockwork town, I kept on watching a long, long movie. Genko Land presents Mamiya, a shared illusion of the world's end. You could tell there was no man living here. She was a total career woman. After entering the hallway, I remembered that the bathroom in this place was in a different direction and turned around. I grabbed the clothes I'd scattered around at the entrance and put my arms in them. I washed my face, stretched my arms, and shaved my stubble for good measure. Once I was done, I grabbed a blue toothbrush and brushed my teeth too. There was also some hair wax in my pocket, so I used that to quickly style my dough. Looking good. Finally, I gave my 3 10K notes a kiss and stuffed them into my pocket. The hell? I'm not getting anything. Fuck this. Feeling like shit, I dashed out of the pachinko parlor and made everyone around me scatter. Man, those 3 yukichis I got from Kyoko sure didn't last long. And I even wanted to get us something fancy if I won. Yeah, Kyoko, when do you wanna... Look, Haruki, don't take this personally, but I think we should stop seeing each other. The hell? Dumbass, you can just tell me if something happened, I'll help you forget all about it. That's not it. It's because I'm dating my boss now. I want to end our relationship. Huh? Is this some kind of joke? The 30K I left you is my farewell gift. Bye! Hey, Kyoko. Hey, damn it. What the hell? I really had no luck, huh? The hell was I supposed to do now? I was freezing my balls off, too. Scrolled through the contact list on my phone. Erica was no good. She was doing well with her guy. Shiori was outside the country for work, while Chiaki was sick and hospitalized. After scrolling through half my contacts, a certain name caught my eye. Natsume. It was the name of the man whose funeral I just went to just yesterday. Fuck this. I was sure I'd never be calling it, and yet... Huh? Bafflingly enough, my hand just refused to press the delete button. A number I'd never called before. I knew he wouldn't pick up, but that didn't stop me from pressing the button and calling him anyway. The hell's gotten into me? Dude's already kicked the bucket. There's no way he's gonna pick up. Hello? What the actual fuck? My heart skipped a beat when I heard the voice of an actual human being from the other end of the line. But that voice didn't belong to Natsume. Hello? Hello? I think you got the wrong person. This number belongs to a person called Natsume, and... I know. And you are? Where are you? Is this a prank call? I'll hang up if it is. I'm Natsume's acquaintance. You knew him too, didn't you? I did, yes. I want to meet you. There's something I gotta tell you. Is it related to Natsume? Yeah. I just made up shit as I went along. I actually had nothing to say about Natsume. But I wasn't completely full of shit. For one, I was genuinely curious about meeting whoever this was. After all, not everyone would just pick up the phone of a dead guy. My heart was beating like a jackhammer. I felt positively intoxicated by the thrill of the unknown. It reminded me of the excitement I had felt back when someone had told me about the Treasure Island back when I was little. Oh. Come to think of it, I never asked that mystery person what they looked like. There's no way I'd spot them like this. I only really knew that voice. They'd probably notice me if I raised my phone. Hell, maybe they're doing the same thing. I was still looking around the station trying to find someone who would fit that description when suddenly a commotion of shots erupted. I ignored it and kept looking around. Huh? Could it be? No way. Is it really her? I heard a stir in the crowd and turned to look at the source. And then I saw her. She had long, silky black hair, and wore an elegant skirt that danced gracefully in the night breeze. She looked like someone from another dimension. Then again, her outfit wasn't anything unusual in this part of town. I continued staring at the maid holding her phone up. The maid was surrounded by typical nerds who were taking her pictures as she raised the phone high. The girl blushed and seemed to be trembling a little. Bingo. Hey. What is it? If it's pictures you want, go right ahead. That voice. The girl's eyes widened. She seemed to have recognized me as well. Who are you? How dare you address our beloved Cinderella without permission? One of the geeks surrounded the maid's box something on me, but I ignored it. So you have a thing going with Natsume, I see. Hey, will you show proper respect or... So, what did you want to tell me? You sure you want me to say it here in front of everyone? Very well, follow me then. Mina! It's hard to believe Mina's actually friends with a guy like that, or maybe you're a boyfriend? They don't look like an item to me. He's pretty handsome, though. Mina, who is this man? Is he your boyfriend? Settle down, everyone. He's just an acquaintance of a friend. I have something important to discuss with him alone. Don't worry, I'll be fine. But we can't possibly leave you alone with a man like that. I appreciate the concern, but I'll be alright, really. You heard the lady. Disperse! One of the guys waved the onlookers away. Nina, shake my hand. The elite nerds were reluctant, but they walked off, turning around and holding a thumbs up as they did. She responded with a wink, then turned around and leapt at me and told. We should be able to talk here in peace. I guess. I was surprised. But man, I shouldn't expect to run into a maid. Was Natsumi your world master or something? Trust me, I'm just as surprised as you are. I didn't realize Natsumi had such trashy friends. I'll take that as a compliment. You famous or something? That was quite a commotion back there. At least it made it easier for you to find me. You never told me your name or what you looked like. Not like any of that matters now. Let's cut to the chase. What did you want to tell me? Hey, what's the hurry? Let's grab something to eat first. As I started opening the menu, the maid stopped me by putting her hand on the table. Answer me. Why are you in such a rush? The guy's already dead. How dare you? Her sudden outburst made the surface of her black tea tremble. I could see her frowning face in its reflection. Don't you care about his death? Doesn't it make you feel anything? Why did a kind-hearted person like him have to die? Why? Even during the funeral, I could barely contain myself. Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Did you sing? Huh? Why did I even ask that? As though to distract from my fuck-up, I made my next move and spoke with a weight to my words. There's something off about his death. I feel it in my gut. The words I had said after an emphasizing, irritating pause were nothing but my usual lies. It reminded me of the many times I bullshitted my way in some woman's bed just so I could mooch off of them. Yet the maid reacted in a way I didn't expect. Exactly, I was thinking the same thing. She leaned forward and pounded the table, spilling some of the tea in the process. Oh, sorry, I got a little carried away. It's fine, so you suspect something? Yes, and I've always wanted to discuss it with someone. It's almost like you've read my mind. I averted my eyes as relief washed over the girl's face. His phone. Natsumi actually handed it to me before his death. Don't you find that a little odd? Yeah, you don't normally hand off the hub of all your private information to a stranger. I sure as hell wouldn't. It's almost like he knew he would die. After his funeral was over, I began to think that maybe he'd given this to me for a reason. She looked down at the black object and touched it like something dear. Did you check what's inside? No, I couldn't bring myself to. I was about to lock it away deep in a shelf, but then you called. I don't understand why he had to die. He just wasn't the type to just... Shivering, she clutched Natsumi's phone tightly in her hands. It sort of reminded me of Natsumi when I saw him praying at a church that one time. I have a favor to ask you. Would you help me investigate Natsumi's death? I met her gaze with mine. Those round black eyes, her refined, attractive features, and that pleading look all triggered my masculine instincts to protect her. Yeah, I'll pass. Huh? I'll do it on one condition, though. I clasped her hands in mine, including the phone she was still holding. Let me stay at your place tonight. That's my one condition. Fine, I'll get us a taxi. I had no trouble picking up girls, and this was no exception. I moistened my parched throat with the cold coffee I had ordered. The taxi parked down in front of the cafe. Mina climbed into the back, but when I tried to follow her... Yeah! Felt a sudden explosion of pain in my stomach. Last thing I saw before collapsing was a slender leg peeking out from under his skirt. Oh, she actually... I'd rather keep my personal life separate from this. I think that'd be best for the both of us. In any case, I'll see you again some other time. Driver, step on it. The door slammed shut right in front of my nose before I could process everything that just happened. The taxi sped off into the darkness. Oh! Looks like I've got a new follower. Wait. It says it was 7 days ago. Hold on. Thank you for the follow, Flaybuster. Alright. I hope I said that right. Okay. Back to Morishiko Haruki. That fucking bitch. I was left alone and shivering at the side of the road. Guess I'm sleeping at a manga cafe tonight. Wrinkling my nose at the characteristic smell of manga cafes that was more or less a unique blend of tobacco and shit, I headed towards the room they had assigned to me. I opened the door with a large yawn and found a girl sleeping on the floor inside. The hell? Did I get the wrong room? Or did I accidentally stumble into a crime scene? A myriad of possibilities flashed through my mind. The girl opened her eyes. Haruki? What did she just say? Hey, you brat, how do you know my name? Go! Are you okay? When I opened my eyes again, the girl was right in front of me. Are you okay? Do you have your medicine? You have to take your medicine or you'll have another episode. Taking a step back, I threw a glare at the oddly dressed girl. How did she know about that? You pushed the nurse call button, didn't you? What? Don't be scared, I came to answer your call. I'm Mamiya. You're Mamiya. Okay. Sorry, the fact that Mamiya's a girl in this route is throwing me off. Give me a sec. I'm Mamiya. You're Mamiya. You're fucking nuts is what you are. Get the hell out of my room. Relax. She wrapped her arms around me. The hell are you? Everything will be alright, Haruki. There's no need to be scared. As her words kept echoing in my mind, I felt my eyelids grow heavier and heavier. Though my brain was ferrying off all the red flags in the world, I simply couldn't fight the drowsiness. Good night, Haruki. Wow, your hair's a mess. I see you didn't shave either. You little... Huh? Isn't that Mina? What's she doing here? Who is this? A kind soul who shared his food with me. Oh, you're actually here. The real deal is something else. Hey, can you sign my... Let's go. Wait, Mina. Go where exactly? A place related to Natsumi. I suppose isn't it best to start talking to those he was close to? In that case... School. How about his school? He could ask his classmates about... No, let's not do that. Huh? Let's skip the school. I very much doubt they would let you in there anyway. Where else would we go then? Don't just say shit without thinking through, maid. I know, which is why I'll ask him. The phone? You're gonna rely on Natsumi himself? Yes. He once said that he went to an IRL meetup for an anime he liked. The hell's an IRL meetup? You don't know. Well, excuse me for not being king of the nerds. You look like you'd be into dating sites, though. Just what kind of guy do you think I am? I don't need the internet to pick up chicks. Hell, I'm doing it right now. Spare me the details of your personal life. Anyway, an IRL meetup is when you meet people you know on the internet in real life. I don't get the point of meeting people whose faces you don't know. Well, the internet makes it easy to find others who share your interests. Though you're meeting people you don't know much about, so I'd be lying if I said there's no trouble involved. And that's what you want to look into? See this? Found an invitation on his phone. According to the date, it was sent 2 days before Natsume disappeared. What's the place? A cafe on the 3rd floor of the urban building. It's not too far, actually. Say we head there right now. Excuse me. Wait, this is a good part. Huh? Mina? Mina's here? Why? We just want to ask some questions. Huh? Why are you looking at me like that? There's something we'd like to know. I'll tell you whatever you want. Has anyone here participated in an IRL meetup about 2 weeks ago? Well, I'd say at least half the people here have. We're a group of fans currently airing anime, and this is a continuation from last time since we felt like we didn't say enough. Well, that's good. Natsume was here last time, right? I want to know more about him. Face was clouded over as soon as the maid mentioned Natsume's name. Natsume? Is that his real name? Yes. Oh, I see. We only know each other by our nicknames. Oh. We'd know who you're talking about if you gave it to us. Sorry, we can't help. It's okay, thank you. Anyway, maybe you're talking about Cocktail? You said you'd go to your mini live concert. Ah. Can you tell me about this Cocktail? We hadn't seen him online too much, and the first time he came to participate was 2 weeks ago. He said he'd love to drop by again, but then he just up and disappeared. It's normal not to know what people online do for a living, but Cockatoo was on another level. You seem to be pretty passionate about participating in your events, though. I see. Mina. Thank you for your time. What you've told us helped us a great deal. With that said, I really must go now. Wait! Could you shake hands with me? No fair, I want that too. Be glad to. You'll have to form a line, though. They didn't seem to know much. What's the point of questioning people that don't even know his name? The fact that they don't know much about his personal life is precisely the point. People tend to reveal more about themselves in an anonymous environment. That reminds me, I never even asked your name. The maid pointed at her badge. I'm Mina. No, I mean your real name. As long as I wear this, I have no other name. I'm Mina the maid. There was a strong will reflected in her dark eyes. The maid lowered her gaze, looking somewhat remorseful for not fully answering my question. I doubt someone like you would understand. There seemed to be some deep reason behind it. I guess. Still, I didn't feel like pushing the question. She was right. I couldn't really comprehend why someone would adopt a fake name. All it did was fill them with guilt. Anyway, we should head to the next IRL meetup. She suddenly clapped her hands as if to motivate herself, taking me by surprise. Oh, you want to still keep doing this? Of course. Of course, this wasn't the only meetup he attended, you know. Let's keep moving, we have no time to waste. Okay, I get it, but slow down for God's sake. Looks like we managed to lose them. It's that goddamn outfit of yours stands out like a sore thumb. Ick. Fuck. I kept staring at the ground while I was trying desperately to catch my breath. That's when I saw Mina's hand. I must have scraped it on something when we were running. She tried to downplay it, but her entire knuckle was covered in blood. We gotta disinfect it. Huh? It's just a scratch, I don't think. Just shut up and tell me where the closest drugstore is. I grabbed her other hand and hurried out of the alley. I washed the maid's hand in cold water. Through my wet hands, I could feel her body trembling. Just a scratch, my ass. The wound itself doesn't hurt, it's just the water that stung a little. Yeah, whatever you say. Come on, raise your arm. She obediently followed my commands. I used wet toilet paper to clean her wound, then taped the gauze on top of it. There. You should be fine now. Let's go. Um? You want something else? Thank you very much. I figured I should thank you properly. Don't mention it. You have a surprisingly gentle side to you. You always say one word too many, you know that? After splitting up with Mina, I spent some time thinking. As I walked through the dark streets, that maid's resigned smile kept flashing into my mind. That smile felt like it showed an emotion I knew well. I understood completely that was just an illusion born from my self-consciousness and desire to dominate. I knew all that, and yet the night was getting darker. As our moist skin touched, I felt like I'd melt alive. Ah. Okay. No matter how much time passed, my thirst would never fade. Oh, Haruki. I didn't understand why. I only thought I did. I was always alone. I stepped out onto the veranda to light a cigarette. The outside air wasn't as cold as I expected, and it embraced me gently. I thought I hated winter, but I guess nights like this aren't too bad either. I closed my eyes and let the cigarette smoke billow around me. You shouldn't smoke. Hearing someone's voice from behind me made me jump. The fuck? Shh. The girl pressed a finger to her lips, stopping the scream in my throat. You shouldn't wake her. It took a long while for her to finally fall asleep. I took a step away from the girl and lit another cigarette despite feeling a little on edge. She had to be a manifestation of the stress that had been building in me from doing all sorts of things outside my comfort zone. Figured I'd have to ignore her and she'd eventually disappear. Come now, I told you to stop doing that. I once again made an attempt to ignore the strangely translucent girl, but her voice rang out like it was seeping directly into my brain. You do it knowingly, I see. The girl closed her big round eyes in a reprimanding fashion. I exhaled a silent breath, neither acknowledging nor denying his statement. Aren't you freezing out here? Smoking is bad enough. You don't want to compound it with a cold. It's going to affect your lungs. When she said that, I nearly dropped my cig. How do you... I'm your nurse, remember? My lips were quivering at this point, but all she did was smile. I was gonna have to seriously reevaluate some things. Who are you? I am Mamiya. You're Mamiya. The moon shone upon the two figures standing on the balcony. The silky hair of the girl calling herself Mamiya gleamed in the cool evening light. The air spreading through my lungs was a mixture of cigarette smoke and inertia. The town had changed its appearance in the time between the last and first trains. The slumbering souls made no sound. They merely drifted around in limbo, waiting for the sky to whiten. Hey, want to take a short walk? As I turned my head, Mamiya was there smiling in the darkness. We made our way down the street in the middle of the night. The world was at its strangest between 3 and 4 in the morning. To most people, this time went by without them realizing. But to me, it was the most important hour of the day. Mamiya, as cheery as ever, walked beside me with calm, deliberate steps. I slightly lowered my speed to let her tiny legs keep up with mine. My thoughts kept coming back to Natsumi's death. I wondered if spending time with that maid had affected my brain. Everything about Natsumi's passing was shrouded in mystery. His body was discovered after he'd gone missing for 3 days. And by the time of the funeral, it had already been cremated. All we did was place flowers on a closed coffin. There were plenty of rumors. Some thought it was an accident, others speculated murder. The possibility of suicide came up as well, of course. I don't understand why he had to die. He wasn't the type to just... Remembering Natsume made me think of the words the maid said. Haha. Loud sound roared as a flash covered the sky. Was that? Lightning had struck somewhere. It's alright. Everything's alright, Haruki. Did it light anything on fire? I wondered how it felt to be struck by lightning. What would be the last thing you saw before getting fried alive? I see. Sorry for not being much help, Mina. It's okay, I do appreciate your assistance. The guys at the door started talking again. They were discussing their hobbies, having a good time with their friends. I expected the fully decorated Christmas tree just to kill some time. It was covered in illumination. The scene filled me with nostalgia. It was warm to the touch. Clutching it harder made my fingers also reflect the light. I'd waited in front of the entrance until Mino came out and shook her head. It would help if we could figure out where he was during the time he went missing. Yeah. The main street had been decked out in Christmas lights, making the town look even livelier than usual. When I spotted Mina blowing some warm air into her hands, my body moved on its own and I gently placed my jacket on her shoulders. What gives? Just put this on. Ah, thank you. Don't worry though. I hand off flyers will dress like this all the time. I shouldn't let this maid uniform go to waste. Oof. Are you okay? I'm sorry. He's just too excited about Christmas. Come on, apologize to the nice lady. I'm sorry. It's alright. I understand being excited about Christmas. I am too. Mina gently squeezed the kid's hand and urged him to follow his family. They turned around a few times, bowing their heads until they finally disappeared in the crowd. In that moment, my eyes met with the kids. I averted my gaze almost unconsciously. I glanced to my side and saw Mina still waving them goodbye with a warm smile. Are you planning to spend Christmas with a special someone? I don't do that kind of stuff. Wonder how your partner feels about that. She understands. I don't. Give me a break. It's easier to be alone. You're not controlled by anyone, and you're king of your own world. You should try it for a change. I was always ready for it to end. It was better than prolonging it by stretching out the tape. Mina, however, simply smiled back at me in silence. That sounds a lot like something Natsume told me a while ago. It does? Yeah, he said it didn't matter how much people loved each other, or how much time they had spent together. In the end, it still didn't change the fact that they were alone. I get the feeling he meant it in a slightly different way, though. He always put some distance between himself and others. He preferred spectating things from afar. The town has really soaked up the Christmas spirit, hasn't it? Something about the maid had suddenly changed. Almost like she was desperate to force memories of Natsume out of her mind. Yeah. Let me guess, you'll just spend the holidays at some random girl's place? I don't know. I exhaled a long breath. I looked at the garlands hung on the doors of various shops, as well as the red lamps glued to the streetlights. Christmas always ends up reminding me of home. Huh? Never mind, forget I said anything. Come on, talk to me. It's a pretty lame story, the kind that happens to everyone. Well then, maybe it'll help us discover something we have in common. We had a large Christmas tree in the living room. We decorated with stuff we kept in a box that would be untouched any time of the year. But the paper boxes for holding presents and the shiny ball ornaments were a lot lighter than they looked. My brother and I would hang up the decorations, check the results, see if it's balanced, and switch the places. It's my job to put the star on top. Couldn't reach it by myself, so I had to stand on a chair. Then we waited for Dad to come home and had a feast of dinner with cakes for dessert. Pretty boring story, huh? Not at all. I really enjoyed it. If you say so. For a while we kept walking without saying anything to each other. But then Mina suddenly stopped before a corner and turned to face me. If you really have no plans to spend Christmas with anyone in particular, how about coming over to my cafe? We'll be holding our own Christmas party. We even have a girl who actually attends a pastry school. Her cakes are just as good as the ones you can buy in the shops. It may not end up being as memorable as your childhood, but you can buy if you're in the mood, okay? I bet you're just trying to increase your sales. Perhaps. Now think about it. Please do. With that, Mina clasped the hem of her skirt and gave me a deep curtsy. For a brief moment, the bustling cityscape around us ceased to exist. I felt like I'd been transported into a different dimension altogether, like a Victorian castle or an old mansion. A Christmas party, huh? I exhaled the cigarette smoke. The scent of vanilla hit my nostrils. I hurriedly tightened my facial muscles to stop my lips from curling into a faint smile. A movie theater? I didn't realize they showed movies this late into the night. One adult ticket, please. You don't need to buy one for me. Children don't seem to be allowed inside anyway. There's almost no one in here. Likely because you're the only one who would actually watch movies at this hour. It's a small theater. It's almost always like this. Oh, this isn't your first time then? I come here whenever I can't sleep. That reminds me, you often stayed up late to read. Seriously, who are you? I've told you, I'm Mamiya. How come I'm the only one who can see you? You're the only one that pushed the nurse call button. Why do you know things about me? I'm one of the few who understands you. Yeah, right. I mean it. I also know about the island that your brother talked about. Why do you know that? The lights were still on. I stood up and closed the distance with Mamiya still sitting next to me. Haruki? I'm going to ask again, just who the hell are you? Why do you know so much about me? Calm down, Haruki. You even knew about the treasure island. Haruki, you're hurting me. That island. It doesn't exist. Before I knew it, the lights had already gone out and the movie began to play. Wait, this wasn't the movie I paid to see. Haruki. My neck refused to move. The film continued to play. My eyes were wide open, and I was made to watch a film I didn't want to. In the light, I saw the face of a man I didn't know. Filth that reminded one of vermin crawling on the ground. It was all over the screen. Abuse. Tragedy upon tragedy. It all converged upon the Treasure Island. Treasure Island. A small patch of dirt on the UK's sea. Despite the name, it had very few actual treasures to offer. It was an uninhabited island in a high latitude, making small fall there the whole year round. How do you feel, Haruki? Bro, better today. The air pressure's gotten higher. So where will you take me today? How about Barcelona? Back in the day, I spent more time at the hospital than at home. I barely even showed up at school. I had no friends to speak of either. My brother was pretty much the only person I'd interacted with. I would discuss everything with him. He was like a close friend. The memory was piling up like thin sherbet as though to make a mountain. And that might have been enough for me at the time. while I was stuck in the hospital room. My brother would tell me about stories about forgotten lands while pointing them out on a guidebook map. Well, he did often go outside of the country for his studies. That must have included places he didn't know about. Despite that, listening to him always made me feel like I could feel the air and smell the scents of those lands. What are we gonna do today? Let's see. Oh, that's odd. I could have sworn I had that book with me. Are we taking a break? I guess it was bound to happen at one point. Well, actually, today I'll tell you about the Treasure Island. The Treasure Island? But I've already read that novel. What's about a treasure island that no one knows about? It's a small island to the north of Great Britain. A quiet, serene little place. It's a place where the sun rarely shows itself. It's a world shrouded in silver with snow as far as the eye can see. There is a lone house standing there, though. Its windows are lit up, but if you go in to investigate, you'll find the house completely empty. However, inside you'll find some fresh, warm bread and soup, as if it was just made for you. Often pausing to find his words, my brother told me about that island. I was completely enraptured by his tale, and even asked a bunch of questions on my own. My brother would close his eyes and heave a long sigh, then dutifully answered each and every one of them. For me, that was enough. I was having trouble breathing. You'll never love anyone. Such a poor boy. A low voice, devoid of emotion. Yet even still I understood. The freezing chill of the snow sticking to my face felt heavy and painful beyond words. Haruki, let me make it clear. The Treasure Island doesn't exist. You will spend your whole life unable to love anyone. The Treasure Island was my only source of support in a world of white ceilings and lung pain. The island my brother did his best to tell me about had become my personal sanctuary. Chica. Morichika. Were you listening? Huh? No. Are you feeling alright? You'll never love anyone. Sorry, I gotta run a quick errand. Is this about some woman again? What if it is? You see, if you say so. Your face tells me you want to say something. Could it be that you're not feeling up for that Christmas party? You've been avoiding me ever since that day. Well, about that. You'll never love anyone. I'm sorry if I did anything to upset you, but at least tell me the reason. It was the same with Natsume. You never told me anything. This has nothing to do with that. Then, tell me. Haruki, I'll never love anyone. This was all because I couldn't love anyone. Because deep down, I didn't give a damn about you. She also didn't actually care about me as a person. It's best to end it quick. This was an unproductive waste of time. There's no meaning to Natsume's death. There's nothing off about it. Huh? Why are you saying all this all of a sudden? Stop pretending you don't know. You're just scared to accept reality. It's not true. Natsume really did. He's dead. And he's not coming back. You're the only one in the entire world who actually thinks he might still be alive. Stop it. You're the only one who's trying to attribute some meaning to his death. Why are you saying all this? It was a pretty good way to kill some time, I'll give you that. A way to kill time? It's the only reason I did all this. I got bored, so I figured I might as well let you know. Well, sure I enjoyed playing the detective for a while, but I've had enough. The color in her eyes changed. You've been lying to me all this time. Should have known. She turned around, and the next moment she disappeared into the distance. Wait. I subconsciously extended my hand before slowly pulling it back. grasp was the cold of the air. But wasn't that what I had wanted? I brought an end to it with my own 2 hands, and yet I simply stood there, unable to move an inch. From that day on, the maid stopped appearing before me. The phone number, which was the only thing connected us, no longer worked. The 5th exit of Akihabara Station. Next thing I realized, she stopped showing up at our meeting point. Thinking about it now, I didn't even know her real name. Many nights passed since. It's so cold. Are you okay, Haruki? Yeah. I'd gone on to seek a woman's touch as if to put on a blanket against the cold, to fill the void in my heart. I felt like I couldn't know my own body heat. The cold December air bit into my skin with the chilliness of cold rejection. I had met countless people, yet made not a single genuine connection. Tokyo was a city of people who lived convenient lives. You could only become part of the group by suppressing your own individuality. Like the dull pieces of concrete that made up this town. I must have known all this all along. The smell of the hospital, the clean, sterile air, it had clung to me, and it was as if this could wipe it all clean. I'd made it so that I could always go back to being alone. I believed I always had at least the reins in my hands. Morichika. Me. There was no one behind me. Up till now, I'd seen people as nothing but consumables. That you could change friends and women like clothes. Even if you lost more than one, another could easily take their place. Why was I scared? I looked up and I saw Mamiya standing before me. Haruki. My skirt danced gently in the breeze like a flower. Within the jet black darkness of the night, I found myself thoroughly captivated by her. I exhaled a hot white breath. Mamiya's surroundings alone were shining faintly, like she was in a different dimension. It had begun to snow. I had experienced nights like this countless times before. Enveloped by a cradle of loneliness, a night that seemed to deny existence. Why do you keep appearing before me? Because I'm Mamiya. That's not an answer. I'm not in a good mood. I'll ask us something next. Are you used to being alone? My breathing stopped, locking the cold air in my lungs. Of course, a long time. Answer me honestly. Are you truly used to being alone? I think so. I think so. What a vague answer. Nothing really changes for me whether I'm alone or not. Don't you become lonely? That question left me silent for a moment. To be more precise, I wanted to get used to being alone. I see, I understand you now. She put on a faint smile, her arm extended toward me. She was probably going to strangle me to death. You can't love people, can you? Normally, I could have handled this calmly. I'd seen enough movies to know that the way this was going wouldn't lead to anything good. And yet I acted like a dumbass and gave her honest answers. Must have been because she could see right through my personal sentiments. How does it feel to be unable to love? It's lonely, damn it. It's lonely, damn it. Why the hell was I admitting that? So what? Would whining about it change anything? At the end of the day, I'll still be a defect incapable of loving others. Even if I felt lonely and sought another person's warmth, I couldn't love them back. I can't respond to their love. I'll always be alone. It's always been like this, and it's how it will always be. Then at the very least, I'd like you to push the nurse call button. You need to seek help in times of hardship. Shut up. You're not alone. Don't say careless shit like that. That single careless utterance of hers brought my blood to a boil. Don't say insensitive shit like that. No one was ever there for me, okay? No one's gonna come to help even if I scream. It's pointless, so I didn't want to. What will change if I do? Everyone's got their hands full with just themselves. No one's able to carry someone else. And most of all, I don't want to know the emptiness of calling out for help and getting no helping hand. You're the only one for me? Is that because you're a delusion I created? Yes. I'm Mamiya, a being that came into existence for your sake alone. Here, can you see me? Mamiya gently touched my cheeks. The cold made it difficult to tell if her hands were warm or not. I can't. Feel my touch. I can love you, for I am the Mamiya within your head. I am you. And that's why you can love me too. All you have to do is acknowledge Mamiya. Her gaze peers through me. Will you do that? The snow kept piling up around us. The boundary between Mamiya and myself began to grow hazier and hazier. Almost out of reflex, I ended up hugging her. How about now? Yeah, I can feel you just fine. I poured more strength into my embrace, as though to not let her go. Mamiya. Yes? Don't leave me alone. I won't. I'll be with you forever. It's alright. Your pain reached me, and so did your shouts for help. Thank you for pressing the nurse call button. Mamiya fell silent and continued to say nothing as the embrace continued. I wondered. When all my wants and wishes had dried up, when I no longer felt the desire for anything in this town, what would become of me then? Haruki? Yeah? You were thinking about another girl, weren't you? Come on, you know you're the only one for me. You don't need to lie. You touch your necklace whenever you're thinking about something else, right? Why don't you go to her? There's no way You can. Go make up with her. I wasn't expecting anything special, you know? I only called you because I felt like it. I'm making food, so don't make a face like that. It's a bother. It's not like that. It's just, well, you know. Let me guess, you had a fight with a friend and don't know how to patch things up. I felt dumbfounded for a moment. I didn't know how to make up with a friend? For some reason, that struck something very deep within me. Up until now, if I got in a fight with someone, I'd just cut them off. But if I wanted to reconnect a broken string, I didn't even know where to begin. How to make up there, search. Make it with your girlfriend, make it with your boyfriend. Come on, I know way more about this stuff than all these keyboard warriors combined. The present is the perfect excuse to start a serious conversation. I realized that Christmas was in just a few days. A quick look couldn't hurt, I guess. Well, I'm here, but ran my gaze across Great for Presents section, but nothing really caught my eye. Within the display cases, there were many accessories the women would love. Some of them looked much like the ones I'd actually gifted to women, but this ain't it. After looking them over, I found myself going to another place. I came upon a Christmas merch corner with its own lit-up Christmas tree. Those things would just go in the trash once Christmas is over, and oh. My eyes stopped upon a small snow globe. It had a house standing in the middle of a snowy field. Heavy snow gathered on the roof as warm light leaked through the window. The way it lit up the falling snow inside the globe looked really pretty. I found its scenery oddly familiar. Not at all. I really enjoyed it. Couldn't help but remember the maid's words. Yeah, it was much like it. The treasure island my brother told me about. I picked up one of those globes on display. I felt like I was holding a tiny fragment of another world. Excuse me, I'll take this one. I wanted her to know. I wanted to show her the scenery. The plastic bag rustled in the cold wind. The sound made my lips curl into a faint smile. Phew. Would that annoying maid really like this thing? You look happy, Haruki. Because I am. Take a look at this, Mamiya. My, what a beautiful snow globe. Right? You've been staring at it for a while now. You must like it very much. I won't keep it for much longer, though. Why is that? Because I'm giving it to a certain someone. If you're so fond of it, though, why not keep it? You don't get it, do you? You think so? You might be the most amazing thing in the world, but you can't be sure if the other person will also appreciate it just as much as you do. It hurts when another person rejects something you really like. So rather than risk that happening, I think it's much safer to keep it all to yourself. Don't you agree, Haruki? Are you really sure you want to give that snow globe away? That's what I bought it for. I see. It's past midnight. You should go to sleep. You're right. Good night, Haruki. I can't wait for Christmas. Welcome back, Master. We're actually holding a party tonight. It will be a modest little thing, but we will do our utmost to please our dear guests. And with some luck, we may even attract a Christmas miracle. Mina, attend the guests at table 3. On my way. Mina, can I get the Christmas version of your special Moe power? Right away, Master. Ugh, you event days are such a hectic. Welcome back, Master. Yo. You told me to come. That's right, I almost forgot. Welcome back, Master. Please enjoy the party tonight. Wait. Let me go, I'm busy. If you want something, go ahead and say it already. Yeah? I wanted to apologize. You've got nothing to apologize for. We were just killing some time, remember? Yeah, I know. At first, I did genuinely feel that way. Felt like you were stupid for trying to find out more about Natsume's death. But we never found out why he left his phone with you. Probably did it on a whim. Look, it doesn't matter anymore. It does to me. I brought you a present. Why now of all times? Isn't it a bit too late to suddenly start treating me like a girl? Look, it's Christmas. And I wanted to, do the whole exchanging presents thing. So I got this for you. Took out the present from my bag. I had wrapped it up myself. The maid gasped. You open it. Her voice was trembling. I slowly undid the ribbon and revealed the snow globe to her. Wow, it's beautiful. The maid studied the snow globe on my palm. The genuine admiration in her voice filled my heart with warmth. It sure is. The tiny pellets of snow continued whirling around inside the globe, each reflecting a tiny snippet of light, which was in turn reflected into the maid's deep dark eyes. She slowly raised her face. Our eyes met. You got this for me? I wanted you to see this scenery. I wanted to show you. Thank you. No problem. It's such a beautiful snow globe. I know. It really looks just like the Treasure Island. All of a sudden, it felt like the entire world had gone silent. The Treasure Island. Sorry, I must have been thinking out loud. I heard about it a long time ago from someone very close to me. Apparently, there's a Treasure Island somewhere in this world. You mean from the one from the movies, right? Oh, not at all. I started to feel like the Treasure Island is a place where snow falls, and a sand castle inside me had just begun to collapse. It doesn't seem like there's anyone living there, but there's a single house on it. All sound had died down. It's always lit by a lantern, and there's a warm bread and soup waiting inside. Sure, there may be no treasures or anything grand like that, but it's a warm, inviting place nonetheless. A wonderful island that belongs to just the two of us. Something deep within me disappeared without a trace. You really did pick out a wonderful present, Morachika. Still unable to look up, I let go of the snow globe. Let it fall to the floor. The cozy little house, along with the snow-laden field and the glass of the globe, shattered with a loud crash when they hit the floor. Huh? The air froze around us. Morishika, are you alright? You gotta kidding me. Morishika. You're having a Christmas party with a bunch of lonely nerds huddled together? Give me a fucking break. Does it boost your own self-worth to tease all those miserable versions?
Seems my life stuck on
Treasure Island? That's for me, the way I was killing time. But it's all made up, right? I think you actually believed it, aren't you embarrassed? There's no way an island like that exists. I think you should leave. You made a mistake in life. I want you to leave right now. Frankly, I'm disappointed. You can't love people. They were just words. And yet, it's like a curse binding me to be unable to love. I felt my heart gradually becoming colder. The loneliness embraced me as goosebumps came over me. No matter how warm the air, I'm always freezing to my core. It's like I'm constantly holding ice. And as it thaws, all I get is water running down to my fingers. That's why I told you to keep it to yourself. If you had stayed alone, you wouldn't have had to get hurt. I'm not like the others. Embrace me and I won't ever betray you. I love you forever. I'll heal all your wounds. The snow fell harder and harder, began to pile on top of me. How many hours or days passed? I kept wandering, sitting down, then walking around again with no particular goal in mind, and even lost track of the passage of days. Couldn't stop coughing. Put away my inhaler somewhere a long time ago. Anyway. Oh, really? There's no way. Tojo, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. Hey, can you cold? The place over there serves some amazing lattes. Really? That sounds great. Let's take a look. I kept on walking with a vacant look in my eyes. I averted my gaze from the illuminations, the cheerful couples, the happy families with their shopping bags full of cakes and fried chicken. I turned my back on the world at large. None of it had anything to do with me. Complete indifference and crushing loneliness, like a dark, endless void. I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my chest. I crumpled to the ground while desperately trying to catch my breath. Clutching my teeth, I tried to soften the pain, but it wasn't working at all. I looked up in an attempt to get help, but no one was ever even meeting my gaze. The crowd continued to move as if they didn't see me. The gleaming illuminations, the display windows reflecting the dreams of children, the cheerful Christmas song that enveloped me. They surrounded me, and yet only I was still alone, cut off from the rest of the world. Someone, anyone, please help me. Mamiya, it's alright. I'm always here for you, Haruki. Make it stop. I can't stand this loneliness anymore. I doubted anyone else was looking forward to the end of the world as much as I did. My life had always felt like I'd been watching it in third person like a movie. If it were to end, I would want it to be a spectacle. Make it an ensemble cast work even, something large scale that would downplay my personal pain. That way I wouldn't have to bear the shivering on my own. I've always hated everything. This cheerful town, happy families, and every single goddamn Christmas I had to spend alone. I see. The sound of rolling film, the persistent noise of the projector, sparse seats, lights near my feet. Then let us leave before the credits roll. In this cold, clockwork town, I kept on watching a long, long movie. I love you more than anything else in the world. I love you too. Come with me to the wonderful, boundless world of the Trichilocosm. Man, this life was like a shitty movie. The crowd froze as if time itself had come to a stop. The snow continued piling atop Morachika's back. I brushed it off and touched his hand. It was deathly cold, and heart-wrenchingly sad. Morachika Haruki, why? You weren't supposed to die. Once more, we'll go to the church again. I won't give up. Right. With that, we will restart. Next time. Let me just follow Fruit Bat Factory. Okay. Alright. Let's check to see if anyone's available for a raid right quick. Looks like the Adrix system is live, so we're going to go ahead and raid them. Get them queued up so I can whoa at them as soon as we get there.
Train tunnel. Ooh. Good to know. Might have some switch in. Thank you for the raid.